once we're in.
So when does this game really come to life? When is it at its best? What kind of setups for players and AIs? Like 2v2 players or something?
Anything. Like, I mean, you saw last night just like we were getting our fucking asses handed to us as the Russians in Stalingrad, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, the AI is more than capable of putting up a fight. Alright, so the game begins, and typically the one that I like to start with is calling a Volksgrenadier squad. It's the second one. It's right after the Volkssturm.
Yep, go on.
Okay, so a quick thing. So I was trying to explain this, but everyone was yelling yesterday. So click on the squads button on the right-hand side, and then right-click on a squad. Okay, like right-click on the Volksgrenadier squad, and you'll see a little pop-up thing. Do you see that? Okay, right-hand side, the infantry squads, top button. You click it, and then it opens up all your infantry squads, and then hover over Volksgrenadier squad, the second button, and right-click it.
Oh, and it gives a description.
But this tells you what they're equipped with. Like, you can read 1 MG42, 5 rifles, 2 MP40s. It's a squad of 8 men total, includes 2 panzerfausts, and they're skill level 2, except for the SL and the so the senior leader and senior leader assistant, which are skill 3. See all that?
A lot of detail.
So you can tell, like, right off the bat. So, like, if you click on a Volkssturm, you can see the difference. It's a 10-man. They're all poorly trained. They have 8 Kar 98Ks. They have 2 MP 3008 SMGs and 2 Panzerfaust AT weapons. So they're all skill 1. So you can see immediately the difference in not only in the troop quality, but also what they're equipped with. So, like, an example between the Volksgrenadier squad, you're paying the extra points for skill 2 rather than skill 1. You're paying the extra points for the MG42, which is a big deal, and then you're also paying for the fact that you're having 2 MP40s, which are vastly superior to the MP 3008s. So
what's an MP 3008? Is that just a really old SMG?
No, actually, it's newer than the MP40. But the thing was that it was a cheaper. It was a 20-round magazine, and it jammed all the time. It was in the last days of the war they created it. It was just something to throw in the hands of a farmer.
Yeah.
So it was a desperation weapon. But yeah, so there's like a good deal. So, like, and then you can go over and one over to the right. Now this is a big deal. So do you see the third button? It says Volksgrenadier Sturm Squad. This is a fucking hoss unit, but it's very difficult to use. So this is the Sturm Squad. They're all still skill level 2 and everything, but they come with fucking 6 STG-44s, a G-43, and 2 MP-40s. So every single guy in this squad is using a fully automatic weapon except for the G-43 guy.
Semi-auto, long range, yeah. So they're all using relatively high tier, proper frontline armaments.
Oh yeah, yep. Exactly. So this squad here is a full, 12, 22 points higher. No, sorry, 18 points higher than the Volksgrenadier squad, but it's not always a guarantee. So the Sturm is kind of like a good indicator, because they're all using assault rifles, except for the 2 MP40s, which are submachine guns. But the thing is that you drop the long range ability of the Kar 98K as well as the MG42. So both remember what I was telling you, the Kar 98Ks have like a different weapon profile compared to, like, say like an Arisaka,
Yeah.
So if you control one of your guys, like I'm controlling this guy right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit E, and then you can actually, when you are aiming at something, here, come on down here, when you come on down here and then aim at something, like aim at these farmhouses. I'll stand like next to you, so we'll stand like here at the crossroads. Okay. So then you aim right here, and it'll tell you it's like 40. Mine's like 44 meters, right?
Yeah.
And you see that? So, and then you can see that there's a little number next to it. Okay. It'll, like, mine says 8. Okay, and it's red. You see that?
Yeah.
So that means it's 8 millimeters of terrain, or 8 millimeters of something, and it's red, meaning I won't penetrate it.
Oh.
Red
so it's
because
8
I won't
millimeters
penetrate.
thick?
Yeah, that roof is 8 millimeters thick, and I can't penetrate it with this Kar 98K.
So
but you can see
8 millimeters thick of what's rolled homogeneous steel equivalent, basically, or is it?
No. That would be considered. It would just be considered wood. Most buildings are considered wood unless they're considered brick.
All right.
So it's 8 millimeters of wood, and it's not going to penetrate it from this range at this angle. So now I'll give you another example. So if you aim to the left, you can see, like, I can already aim out to the top of that hill at 70 meters. To the very top of that, I can go 90 meters. I can go even all the way up to the MG nest on the other side for 100 meters. So the Kar 98K has a range of 100 meters. So now, if you were to pick up something like an Arisaka, which is the Japanese shitty bolt action, it's like a 60-meter range at most, and it's not going to be accurate. So I'll give you an example. So like here, I'm going to aim at this, and I hit it. So like you can see, like there are different weapon performances. And there you go. So you're throwing a grenade now, so you have an idea of that.
I didn't mean to do that. I was wondering why my guy's rifle was down. Oh, what the
So yeah,
fuck.
you can hit. What you can do is select him. Okay, select your these, and then on the left-hand side, you see where he's got his Car 98K, and it says 5 out of 5 because you haven't fired it, right?
Fired it once, yeah, 4 out of 5.
So you fortify. So it tells you the magazine, but you can go ahead and click on your grenade. So it's grayed out. Click it. It's got a little drop up, and then you click that, and then my guy just pulls it out, and so now you can run around, and I've got my grenade ready. See?
I think I tossed it, so I don't have one. Otherwise, it would be there.
Yes. Yeah. Well, here I'll toss this one on the ground for you. There you go. There you go. You can pick it up now.
Yeah.
Hit C. Hit the C key, unless you remapped it, in order to highlight things on the ground. No. Don't manually control him. It would. What did you ever reassign C? There you go. Pick it up.
Yeah.
But what you can do is hitting C will highlight things that have fallen on the ground, such as weapons and such. Remember when I was playing the American game and I hit C and there was all the red guns on the ground? That's how you can do that. So
yeah, I was doing that to look for my mortar in that game we played last night against the Russians.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so anyway, so we can go on from there. So you get your Volksreiniger Sturm Squad. So the STG-44 is one of the best weapons of the game. A lot of the German guns are obviously very, very, very good. The U.S. has some very good ones as well. The M1 carbine is a really good gun, and so is the BAR. Anyway, so you've got your two go-tos are definitely going to be your Volksgrenadiers and your Volksgrenadier Sturm Squad. Once you go up from there, you can go to like some really big infantry. So you got some heavy infantry in the Sturm Grenadier Squad, which is the 5th option. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's the 152 manpower one.
Yep.
So this one I would go to over the Volksgrenadier Heavy Sturm Squad to the left. If you go to the left of that one, you'll see it's 180 points. It's actually more expensive, but the reason why it's more expensive is it comes with 2 MG42s. So realistically though, like this squad is not really a good buy because you can just get a regular Volksgrenadier squad at 118 and it's basically the same. It's just you're really getting a second one for really no upside. It's a huge markup in cost. So Volk Sturm Grenadier, then of course you have the Mechanized Sturm Grenadier Squad. There's no info on it because all that it is Sturm Grenadier Squad and a 251. So it comes in with a half track and an MG42. And then Grenadier Squads are all skill 4. But the problem is they come in with mostly Car 98Ks. Grenadiers are very good for reinforcing an already reinforced position because it gives you a lot of skilled infantry that you can use on the fly. And they also come with 2 G43s, which is a big deal because it's going to be accurate fire coming in. The Fusiliers are skill 5, so the Fusiliers are more of an assault squad. You can see they come in with 2 STG-44s, an MT-40, and they come in with an MG-42. So, and they're also all skill 5. So now we're getting into some really skilled infantry at skill 5. Your Jaeger squad, these guys are nasty. So you can see they got a good mix. They got an MG42, Car 98K, 1 G43, MP40s, STG44s. All of them are skill 5. These guys will rip apart pretty much anything that they come across. And then finally, you can go right up into your top tier infantry. You got Panzer Grenadiers, and then your Gebirgsjäger squads.
Gebirgsjäger? What does Gebir mean?
Gebirgsjäger is mountain hunters.
Alright.
So these are the SS gets these guys with, these are the ones I was talking about. They come with G43s with scopes, so they're pretty nice. Yeah, you've got your elite Panzer Grenadiers and whatnot, and then you get your Fallschirmjäger squads. So if you click on your Fallschirmjäger, your Fallschirmjägers are fucking skill 7.
Car 98 sniper, yeah, scope Car 98. And what's the range on this, the scoped one?
I can tell you. Here, let's just call it in and we'll find out. Go to Specialized Soldiers. It's 81. It's the second from the bottom on the right. I'll just tell you that right now. Call him in. Actually, there's something really neat I'm going to show you about a sniper. Let's see here.
Is there a halt button, a stop button for when you've told them to move?
It's F for me. It's F for me, but at the bottom right of your screen when you have somebody selected. Do you see it? It's a little cross, red circle with a cross through it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
don't
need
know
to
what
map
you
that.
remapped it to.
I need to map that, forgot.
Okay, well I can aim out to with the Kar 98K to 150 meters.
Will they shoot out to 150 and then not shoot any further when they're doing their
Yeah,
thing?
they won't shoot beyond their maximum range. So 150, as soon as somebody comes within 150 meters, then they'll start shooting. Otherwise, they won't.
Alright.
So this is pretty neat. I'm going to show you something really cool. Check this out. So snipers are really sneaky beaky because they come with as soon as it, where is it? There it is. Do I have to place it? It's a left click. So
It says
I
2
come with
now for the roof when I'm using the MP40 guy and previewing the shot on the roof. It says 2 in the thickness.
I'm not sure if you're seeing this, but look at this. I'm gonna go ahead and just I think I'm gonna do some gardening real quick. Yeah, so snipers come with bushes. They can create their own cover essentially. Yeah, I don't see that because I'm still using the Kar 90K. It's an 8. Maybe the MP40 is getting different statistics, so I couldn't tell you. Try using the MG42 and see if the MG42 has different statistics.
Alright. Eight.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just MP40 being weird, I guess. Couldn't tell you. It's probably just still 8. Anyway, so that's the infantry side of it. So you can see they have a great range of them. So you start off with the low tier, which is your Volks Grenadiers, and then you can move up there to like your Grenadiers and Sturm Grenadiers, and then you can move from there. So basically the point that I'm trying to make with the German infantry is that you have a reliable scale of infantry, the full distance. See what I mean?
Yeah, so you have control over your spending and your capability. That's not
Exactly,
really
and also
matched in other rosters, yeah.
exactly. So the big thing though that I want you to take away from it though is that you want to be paying attention to the AT that these guys are coming in with. Every squad should be coming in with some form of AT. Typically it's in a form of 2 panzerfausts. Like see this guy right here? This guy's got a panzerfaust on him. So for the most part you always want to be paying attention and paying attention to where your panzerfausts are as the Germans, because a panzerfaust can one kill any vehicle in the game. It doesn't matter what it is, IS-2, IS-3, KT. If you hit it from the side and you hit it in a vulnerable position, the panzerfaust will kill it. So it's always good to be paying attention to that. And then, wow, so is this a Fallschirmjäger? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, why does this guy have an STG-44 and a fucking panzerfaust? And I was like, oh wait, is it a Fallschirmjäger? Of course he is. So
how does this game handle the MG42 in the bipod and the stance, like prone and a bipod when MG42?
You're more accurate.
Yeah.
You're way more accurate. It stances affect everything.
Yeah.
So see, in like his bipod will come into play and whatnot. So it's just a static modifier. But yeah, I mean it's basically a laser when you're like that. Like especially on a Fallschirmjäger, that guy's going to be racking up like 100 plus kills. So okay, so then one of the things that I was talking about is when you're playing and when the war is raging around you, you typically want to be calling in individual specialized soldiers, and your 2 favorites are going to be the Carpenter 98K and the G43 Grenadier. So I just called in the 2 of them, and the reason you always want to make a good habit of calling the 2 of those in is simple. It's because they come in with sandbags, and because they're just they're reliable infantry to be calling in. They're both grenadiers, or they're both skill 4, and so what happens is like you can just use them to rapidly reinforce a given position, like what I'm doing right now. See? So like if there's like a little bit of a lull in action or something like that, you just call in 2 of them, and then you can also call in MP40 soldiers and whatnot. And the reason that I emphasize this is because you typically a lot of the times is that you're not going to need to call in an entire squad to reinforce a position. Typically you're just going to want like 1 or 2 guys just to hold the fort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting because all these other games are squad based. Like, it all revolves around the squads.
Yep. For the most part, once you get more into it, you're going to be basically manually controlling each individual guy. So you'll get there eventually, and it'll feel good when you're doing it. One thing I want to show you is go ahead and get like a couple of guys individual, like get like 2 or 3. Get 3 guys individually controlled, and then I want to show you the silhouette system for this game. So go ahead and grab like 3 guys individually so that they're all considered an individual unit. Put them up here. So okay, so when you have them selected, and then you hover over cover, you'll notice that they actually change. So like here, I'm gonna put my guy on the right-hand side of this, and he's gonna kneel. See? So, but he's more exposed because the sandbag doesn't fully cover his right-hand side. So if I move him towards the middle, now he's a little bit more covered. And then alternatively, if I want to put him on the other side, I can have him stand up. See? Because it's at a slope. And then they're having a big fucking conversation, goodness. But also you can see that sometimes, like, I'm going to put him in cover right now, and he's going to be standing away from the sandbag. So sometimes that's what you want to learn to avoid. So go ahead, and what I would say is put guys on this, but have them spaced. One on the right, one on the left, and one in the middle, and you'll be able to do that. So go ahead and select each one individually, and then place them that way.
Yeah, and this is how you micromanage your positioning before the fight to be totally optimized. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is coming back to that optimization where it's like you can basically make it so that it's a perfect engagement for you, and then yeah, you can control it from there. So Panzerschreck is obviously one of the best AT weapons in the game. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then so building off of what I was saying with calling in specialized soldiers, you'll want to pretty frequently be calling in as the Germans, Panzerschreck and Panzerfaust squads, and just hiding them. So like, I'll give you an example. So I'm going to call in a Panzerfaust squad right here, right? It's going to be two guys, okay? And they both have Panzerfausts. Now, let's say that there is an enemy vehicle like right here in the gully, okay? So I'm going to stop them well ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and they're going to crawl. And then I'm just going to take this guy. I'm not going to double right click. I'm only going to single right click, and he's now going to crawl all the way down there. And I'm going to go from bush to bush in order to prevent being seen, because vehicles do not have perfect vision. In fact, we can just go ahead and do an example of that. Although we have a lot of vision right now because of the infantry, so it's going to be difficult to show. Here, go ahead and call in a what's a quick vehicle? We should have access to the Puma by now, right? Yeah. Go ahead and call in a Puma. 500 manpower. It's going to be under light support vehicles. It's the fourth from the bottom.
Yep, got it.
So the Puma is one of the best vehicles in the game, and I'm totally biased because I just love it so much. But that's beside the point.
Yeah,
so anyways, what I want to show you
is firepower. I've always liked it in every game that's had it.
Yes, it is. The main draws of it is that it is extremely fast, and it has a very, very powerful gun for its size and for its cost. So go ahead, and I want you to drive it over here into the fog of war, and I want to show you what its vision looks like. So that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make here. You can also tinker with using it manually. When you use it in manual, there is a downside to using a vehicle in manual, and it's that you can only use 50% of its engine power, because you can't shift gears, whereas if you allow the AI to control it, it will always use, it'll be able to shift gears manually, but you got a pretty good control over it. You can see how quick it is. But yeah, keep going and go into this fog of war, and you'll be able to see, that it, oh wait, I forgot that's oh fuck, sorry. You know, there's this thing where it's like, I'm an idiot, and I forget that a lot. The Puma is a recon vehicle, so you can see how wide it's. Oh, here, you actually see it right now. See the cone? See how it's got a cone in it right now? See how wide it is? So this is an example, though. The Puma is a recon vehicle, so it has a huge line of sight, but not all vehicles are like that. Most vehicles are significantly smaller, and the point I'm trying to make is that the Puma can only see what's in that cone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you have a tank, it could be like a fourth the size of this cone. Does
that
make sense?
And that's why they really need support.
Exactly.
That's what armor. That's the cost of the armor.
Yes. Exactly. So you want to have a squad of infantry guarding it at all times. Otherwise, I can just crawl up beside your Puma, and you'll never know. And that goes for any vehicle. So anyways. So that's that. So anyways, like I was saying, it's like you're going to typically want to be calling in Panzerfaust and Panzer Grenadiers and whatnot in order to reinforce your front lines, unless you're playing against the Japanese, in which case you're set. The Puma can almost knock out anything in the entire Japanese vehicle roster. Anyways, so the rest of the specialized infantry kind of follow along the same pattern as the infantry squads. You can see, like, you go from having a Panzerschreck infantry to getting Panzer Grenadier Panzerschreck infantry to going up to Fallschirmjägers, you know. So you have the full list of things you can call in at a given time. You know what I mean? So you don't have to just go for like a conscript or just go for like a red guard. You have options. You can kind of space it out, and it's not gonna break your bank. Going from there, so let's say this infantry squad has been in the fight for a long time, right? Okay, and they're all out of ammo. They have little red ammo circles over their head, right? Well, what do you do with them, right? You don't want to just have them all run around and get killed for no reason. They're valuable infantry. They're veterans. So this is where the transport procurement box comes in. So on the right hand side, it's the box with the bullets next to it. Click it, and then you'll see at the bottom there are infantry ammunition, heavy ammunition, special ammunition, and then you would call in an infantry ammunition box and then place it, and then they would pick up ammo from it. So you were doing a little bit of that with the artillery and whatnot. So now you can kind of get an idea of how that works.
Yeah.
Now, you can call in a vehicle, and the vehicle, like you can call the Opel Blitz. So you have an Opel Blitz for heavy ammunition as well as for infantry ammunition. The upside of the Opel Blitz is, number one, is that it's faster. It's a car. Number two, that it carries a lot more ammunition. So you can actually see, if you look over here, move some more infantry into the circle real quick, because I'll show you. Yeah, see the orange bar? See the orange bar on that? See how it's going down over time? Right there, see right there?
Yeah, they're taking ammo, restocking, and the box is emptying. Yeah.
It's depleting very quickly. So you get what you pay for. For 25 manpower, you get a couple bullets, and you can help keep the squad in the fight. Whereas the Opel Blitz will supply them for a very long period of time. Now, alternatively, you can go even heavier, and you can call in one of our half tracks. So as the Germans, we have access to the 2.5 series, the 2.50, the 2.51. Half tracks are fantastic. They all come with an MG42, except for the 2.50-1, and the 2.51-1. Which one's? Oh, that one. Sorry, that's the early version. The SD period at KFC 251. That one comes on MG34. Typically, you're just gonna want to splurge and go for the 251-1, the late period, because if you right click on it, actually, I'm not sure if you're following along, but if you right click,
that right click thing is just I've been doing it this whole time now that I can see a breakdown and just know. Without having to try and memorize or recall from years ago.
Exactly. So you can see the upside of the SDKFZ 251-1, the early period. It actually comes with two MG34s, one on the front and one on the back, whereas the late one only comes with the single. So you can see that there's a little bit of upside, but the thing is that the MG42 is so vastly superior. Yeah. That it's not a compromise. It's not even comparable. So anyways, you can call in 251, and it'll also resupply your troops. So yep, watch, as soon as it parks, it'll begin to supply as well. So that's a good investment as well. Let's see here. Then you go on from there to what's it called? They're called support weapons, which for some reason the Brumbar's in there. Yeah, you can see how it's got a what's it called?
33B.
No, I was just showing you the what's it called, the vehicle. Your SDKFC1 has got a white circle around it. It'll resupply.
All right.
So, quick thing. So go ahead and select your half track, and then at the bottom right, you're gonna see little silhouettes of the guys. It's still, so if you right click on them, watch what happens.
Oh, they got it.
Good. So you can go ahead and let's say you're in your half track and a fucking tank comes around the corner, and you're like, okay, well, you have two options. You can sit there and die, or you can bail the guys out and try and get them to fight another day and hope that they ignore it. And also what's really cool is, so see those two guys that got out? They will retain veterancy that they earned in the vehicle. So like, if you go into the infantry squad.
So your Tiger crews can wreck 50 tanks, and then before the Tiger blows up, if you're prudent enough, you can bail them the fuck out and then put them in another Tiger later on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Oh, that's exactly what I was going to talk about. Go to infantry squads on the right hand side, and if you look, the last two options are tank crew and veteran tank crew. There you go. That's exactly what you're. So you can, if you can do that, but yeah, your Tiger squad is very valuable because the higher veterancy it has, the faster that they move, the faster the turret turns, the faster they aim, the faster they reload, the more accurate they are, etc., etc., etc. So it affects everything. So you want to make sure that your vehicle crews are staying alive. They're very, very valuable. Okay, so we go on from there, and then we go on to support weapons. So support weapons, are these are pretty self-explanatory. Do you want me to cover them? But like you can kind of get an idea of like if you have MG42, your flak 38 and whatnot, and then you have your mortars. So they have a 12 centimeter mortar, which has wheeled, sounds pretty good. You have your pack 38, which is a 5 centimeter. So the pack 38 is actually very good. A lot of people discard it because it's only a 5 centimeter. But the thing is that what a lot of people don't understand is that the pack 38 comes with APCR. You can actually call it in, and you can see that it'll come with APCR.
Hmm.
So in not only that, but it's like your pack 38 was wrecking Shermans. You know, that's something that it can do. So it's a very 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 good gun. It has very very good. The RobZ uses historical armor penetration values, so you can actually right click it and see that you're actually penetrating at you're penetrating 97 millimeters at point blank and 81 at 70 meters. You know,
Hmm.
so at 70 meters you're going to be able to penetrate the front of a Sherman pretty easily.
Yeah.
So and it's got a 5-second reload, which is also very important. That's a pretty quick reload, and
Yeah.
especially the more veteran it gets, the better it gets. Then you go up to the pack 40. The pack 40 can penetrate any allied armor in the game. Period. Pack 40 is one of the best guns in the game. It's on everything that the
Panther.
Germans use naturally. Yeah, the what?
The Panther gun.
No, that's the L75. Let me see what I can tell you what that gun's called. That's the KWK 42 L70. The pack 40 is the one that's used on the Panzer IVs.
All right.
So yeah, the Panzer IV, all the different variants of the Panzer IV use the pack 40. So, but the pack 40 is an infantry, just the regular AT gun that is more than capable of penetrating any allied armor in the game. It's fantastic. And then if you really just want to dab on people, you can call them the 8.8 pack 30 or pack 43. And then if you have an IS-3 that's bothering you from a very long range away, you can call them the pack 44. Although,
IS-3, they don't even fucking use that shit in World War II.
I know.
And people call that in this game.
Yeah, just like how they have the fucking super Pershing.
Alright, yeah.
So, yeah, you can call them the pack 44 and just make it go away. So yeah, obviously the pack 44 is ridiculous. It's going to destroy. There's nothing in the game that can take a hit from the pack 44. It's the biggest gun. It's unbelievable. Then of course you have your flak 88 that you can call in. Then you have your Lee gun. You saw how devastating the Lee gun was on the beach. It's it's very cheap is the big thing. At 320 manpower, you have a 75 millimeter high explosive howitzer. It's very cool. It's a very popular gun. Then you have the SIG, the 15 centimeter. Same deal. It's just a giant fucking howitzer, blows the shit out of stuff. And then naturally you have access to the 33B, and then you have access to the Brumbar. So, lots of options. You have a good range of options. Oh, I just called in a Brumbar on accident. Oh well. Have fun with that. Let's go ahead and manually control it up out of the little trench. Nope. It does not have the horsepower to get out of the trench. That's worrisome. Up you go. Come on. Can you get out? Oh, nice.
Listen to that
there's your
fucking
yak.
thing. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. And of course your enemies can hear that from like the entire map away.
Yeah, it
you
sounds
got your
just as
yak.
bad as always imagined it would. Fuck, you know.
Yep. It's fucking deafening. Have you ever fired the Sturm Tiger? Why don't you call it in and shoot the Sturm Tiger and enjoy that?
Oh yeah, self-destructed my Storm Tiger last night before I figured out the LL thing. I didn't even get to shoot it. Alright, let's do it.
Use it. Go on, do it. Let's see it. Come on. Why don't you blow the fuck out of this little farmstead? They have it coming.
Can't afford it.
Well, call in an officer. It's I can tell you right now that your problem is your CP.
Where the fuck's the officer?
It's under specialized. So did I ever explain what an officer does?
I think you described it a little bit.
So what it is so you have two resource. You have a couple of resources. The number one is your manpower. It's the orange bar. You know what that is. You can see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then you have your blue number, which is your CP. So that's your population limit. And then calling in an officer decreases how much population you've consumed by 20. Okay. So your officer is extraordinarily important in that respect, in that he can help you cheat out additional units. And then the last thing is that you have your special points. So can you call in your Sturm Tiger now?
Yeah.
So go ahead and call it in.
Yeah.
Here we fucking go. Listen to that baby go.
Fucking hell! It when it turns, when it stops to turn, it fucking bounces back and forwards. Fucking.
Go ahead and move your Yag Tiger and let it have a clear shot at it, that farmstead, and just behold the destructive power of it. I always forget how quick the Storm Tiger is. Make sure that you don't hit a tree, by the way. There you go, nice. Just pull forward a little bit more and you'll knock that tree over. Or he's just gonna fucking roll over the top of it. You got a fucking parking lot going on.
I've got something blocking it. Hang on.
There you go. There you go. Just shoot this. Just shoot this. Don't worry about the farmstead. Just shoot that. Just watch what happens.
And this is a low velocity round as well, so
it is. That absolutely is. Let's aim a little low.
It can't go up. Wait, it takes. Oh yeah, it takes ages to adjust. All right.
Yep. Here we go.
It fucking missed. Oh Jesus.
But yeah.
Oh,
so that's how big the.
Yeah,
that's
enough.
There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you can go ahead and try and give a shot at this. You can't miss this. So go ahead. It's gonna take a hot minute to come in, but go ahead and take the time to readjust your position. You can just turn. You don't have to move because you're tank. You can just pivot on the spot. There you go. Okay. I forgot how long it takes to reload. I'm trying to remember.
I think it's because the shell weighed like more than a man and had like three really tough guys to actually perform the loading.
Yeah. They had a crane. Did you know that? They used a crane for it.
Oh yeah, to stock it ammo. Yeah.
Yeah, they had. Let me see here. I love this. There's a picture of it. It's fucking great. Sturm Tiger crane reload. See if I can find this picture real quick. I love this. Oh, they don't have. I know in Company Heroes they have it animated, which is pretty interesting.
What, the crane to stock it?
Yeah, they have and they actually animate them reloading, because every time it had to reload, they had to open up the actual tank in order to reload it.
Yeah.
Because it was too big. How much longer? It'll tell you on your little.
It's less than half done.
Oh damn. Well, here, at risk of crashing. Well, I'll wait. Go ahead and hold off on that. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. So you can call in all these kind of fun things with your special points. A lot of the times, what you'll probably end up doing is you'll call in one of the big kitties. The Veteran Tiger, the Veteran Panther, the Sturm Tiger, the Tiger 2 Ace, any of those. And then failing that, once you call those in, typically you'll call in Goliaths because they're just so useful. So one of the things to keep in mind as the Germans is that the big kitties are famous and all, but a lot of the times is that they're not necessary. So one of the things that the guy was, I forgot what was it, I think it was Connor, little Connor, he's always talking about like light tanks and stuff. So, and he's totally right, it's just that like a lot of the times you don't need like a Panther or like a Tiger to hold a flank down. A lot of the times all you'll need is like, you could even use like a Luke's, which is like a light tank with a 20 mil.
Yeah, Panzer
a lot of times that's all you need, you know. You don't need something so ridiculous, you know. Or maybe you just need like a Panzer 3, because you can call in the Panzer 3 Ausf, you know, and it's got a 5 centimeter on it. It's more than enough. So it's kind of keeping that in mind. But you have to keep in mind that the only German tanks that are really kind of like durable are the big kitties, because something that people always forget is that it's like, if you look at the Panzer 3, the Panzer 3's only got 50 millimeters of front armor. It's less armor than a Sherman, you know. And then the Panzer IV Ausf G, you know, the Panzer IV Ausf G only has 80 millimeters on its front plate. The turret itself is only 40 millimeters. So if an opponent hits your turret, it's going to go right through that, go through those cheeks. Oh, you good? Here we go.
Here we go.
All right. Fucking let's do this. So yeah, everybody there's dead. So yeah, the Storm Tiger, if it hits any vehicle or does anything, it instantly destroys it. It should go without saying. But anyway, so let's say somebody's really giving you trouble. You can just call him this. You're Carl Greatthor.
And how long does that thing take to reload?
It takes a little while. Also, I also spawned in a crater, and so it broke instantly.
Oh,
so
hell.
I'm just gonna go ahead and demonstrate its power real quick in whatever limited way I can. So I'm gonna
Can
try
I push
and
it
aim.
in? Can I push it off?
Sure, give it a try. Let's see if you can get it.
Right.
I can't call in anything anymore because I spent all my points on it.
Can you use the Tiger?
Oh, here, I got it. It finally fixed itself. Here we go. Oh, did I get it stuck again? I think I just got it stuck again.
Alright, bring it
Nope,
over.
very slowly, very slowly. Hold
Yeah.
on, we're moving. Give it a minute. Oh, I think we're gonna get it. Nice.
This is what
Freedom.
actually happened to all these fucking vehicles, so the game is
Absolutely,
modeling it well.
I love how you bring that up. It's like people always forget it's like something
It's not a bug,
ridiculous.
it's not a glitch, it's not the game spazzing out, it's just historically representing what happened.
It's so true. It's like people forget that fucking like 90% of tigers just got stuck in the mud.
Yeah, and had to be fucking abandoned and self-destructed like I was doing last night all over the place.
See, exactly. You're representing historical accuracy. So, anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot it at this real quick, and I'll show you just how big of the boom this is. You ready for this shit?
Yeah, go on.
Hold on, it actually can't depress.
Yeah.
So you have to get it at an angle. I like how the tiger's running away. Like, fucking hell, man. Coming right at us.
What happens if you ram vehicles that are smaller? Can they take damage or...?
Yeah, absolutely. You
Yeah.
can just roll over the top of a tank with a tiger.
Yeah.
Yo, dickhead, you want to aim down? Fucking head. Alright, here we go. Alright,
Yeah, I'm ready.
let's give this a shot. 3, 2, 1. Nice.
Oh man. Right over the hill.
You can see how far the fucking shrapnel goes.
Yeah.
So in like 15 minutes, that'll be ready to fire again.
Really?
Anyways, so that's... No, it's like, I think it's like a, hold on, I can tell you, because if you right click on it, it'll tell you how long it takes. The reload time is 400 seconds.
6
So-
minutes, Jesus, almost.
So yeah, you can call them pretty much anything. Is the reason that the Germans are very popular is because they have an answer for everything. They can use anything. They have elite infantry, medium infantry, light infantry, elite tank, medium tank, light tanks, armored cars, etc. The problem is that they cost more than everyone else. Even like you pay a tax. Even if your unit is subpar compared to everything else, it still costs more. Just as a, oh dude. I totally forgot. You can also call them the walking Stuka, the Stuka Zufus. I love this thing. This thing is nasty. Here, I'll show you real quick. This one is brutal. This one will, this can clear out entire like positions pretty easily on its own. Let's see. Are we gonna be doing it today? Are we gonna be moving? Can I aim? There we go. So this is a really neat one. This is really good if you want to clear out, like, this is what we needed last night. Oh, nice. I killed the Carl just on accident.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's what we needed last night rather than the fucking Katyushas. But yeah, so you can see the raw power of that. Anyways, so that kind of gives you the idea. I'm trying to think of like controls and everything. Let's go ahead and try swapping around. So like here, click on your panzerfaust, your Panzerschreck infantryman, and then hit investigate, and then try and pull something off of somebody. For the most part, a lot of the times you're just going to be wanting to be swapping inventory with infantry and whatnot. So like I'm going to go over to like this dead guy here. Okay, I don't even know how he died, but like let's say I have this guy right here, and my guy does not have any AT. I'm going to go up to this dead guy. I'm just going to go ahead and pull off his AT real quick. I'm going to pull his medic bag off of him, his grenades, his smoke grenade, all of it, taking everything but his helmet. Okay, and now all of a sudden my guy's just that much more effective, you know. and then let's say I'm like in the shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop smoke, wait for it to go off, like I'll pop smoke, and then I'm gonna get the hell out. Now that I got smoke covering me. So you can do stuff like that. So this is kind of like the smaller intricacies of like that stuff we were talking about. We're like learning how to do stuff. So smoke will block line of sight. So like it acts as a physical barrier. So that smoke right there, if there's an enemy on the other side of it, they wouldn't be able to see those guys. So another thing that's kind of neat is we'll go ahead and I'll show you real quick on this thing. So like this is a fully crewed tank, but it can still carry troops. So this is another little thing. So let's say you're trying to get from point A to point B real quick. There you go. And you don't have a transport. My guys can just climb on board, and your guys can ride around on the tanks. So that's just another example of what you can do. Yeah, see, you can climb up on board too, and I can, so you can ride around with me and chill. Let's see what else. A lot of the times, is that what you'll do is that you can do on-the-fly unit swapping. So like, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the broom bar real quick. So there you go. So now you have the broom bar, and then you can use it, do what you want with it, and then immediately give it back. So unit swapping on the fly is a big part of the game. So anything else? Is there any other questions you got?
I'm only really uncertain about mortars and placing them and using them and when they're able to fire, and
okay.
Yeah, that was confusing.
So let's go ahead and call in. Let's call in a pretty decent mortar here. We'll call in the 8cm, the GRW34. This is a pretty good one. So go ahead and call it in, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna place mine in front of my Stuka Zufus. And so, again, remember you have to right-click and drag in order to use it. So,
what's the line that extends out in the cone? Does that mean anything, or is that just preview?
No, that's just to help you to see, so you can see better, like which direction they're facing. So, like sometimes something will have a very narrow field of fire, and you'll need to know, and so you can just literally draw a straight line. So yeah, like what you can do is you can back up into that bush in order to take cover and hide yourself, and you'll be invisible in between shots because you'll be revealed when you shoot. Okay, and then now go ahead and select it and hit I, and it'll actually tell you how much ammo you have in there, and you'll see you only actually have 6 rounds. You know what I mean? So you'll only be able to fire 6 times. So anytime you call in a mortar, you need to call in a heavy ammunition box and just park it right behind it. So like, see what I'm doing over here?
How many will that add on to the 6 usually?
Almost 100.
Yeah.
So right there, and then I'm just going to go ahead and then when you have a vehicle selected that you want to empty, I don't know what you set it to, but it's a G. You can go ahead and see, I'll be able to tell. So click on a vehicle, any vehicle that's manned currently, okay?
Yeah.
And then on the right-hand side at the bottom right, above the cancel order, is a little box with a orange arrow pointing out of it.
Yeah, unload crew, yeah.
Okay, so what hotkey is that for you?
Nothing right now.
Okay, so you'll have to set that. Anyways, because that's a quick way to have your guys drop their ammo box, like over here. Like, do you see how I just like put it down and then immediately dropped it? So another, here, this is something really saucy. This is something that you can do against players. Click on a vehicle, click on any of our tigers, okay?
Yeah.
Like, click on this one down here, okay? Click on the box. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So actually, no. Click on your tiger, and then at the bottom right, there's a set of keys at the top right. It's engine toggle on and off. Turn off your engine.
Ambush.
Yep. Now they don't know. Now, because like again, our tigers are so loud, human players will know and they'll hear them coming. So you can turn it off and prevent them from knowing. And the really saucy thing is that if it's a manual controlled gun, like on the brum bar, you can actually see. Watch, I'm able to aim with it still, and I'm even able to continue to fire with it. So they won't know that it's there. They won't hear it. They won't know anything about it, and then it'll still be able to fire and catch them by surprise. But not all tanks are manual control. Sometimes they use electric motors. Like a lot of the American tanks have electric motor. What's it called? Turret rings. So it's not a surefire thing each time. It depends, but one of the things that Germans do is they like to turn their engines off. It also conserves fuel, which really won't matter too much. Let's see what else.
How does fuel work? Is that like ammo boxes? It refuels from ammo boxes?
No, you do need to call in. You'll need to call in an Opal Blitz, and you'll need to refuel that way. It rarely happens though. It's so difficult to run out of fuel. You have to get hit in the fuel tank and start bleeding fuel, and also not explode by getting hit in the fuel tank.
Yeah.
So that turns off engines, and then I think for the most part, another big thing is that you want to make sure that your mortars are set to fire at will. So I'll give you an example. So I'm going to send you the Stuka Zavus, and then so click on this over here, and you'll notice that, do you see at the bottom right? It's the top leftmost little square is got a cross through it. It's got a little explosion with a cross through it.
Yeah.
So that means that it's on hold fire. It won't fire no matter what. That vehicle won't fire. Even that MG42 on top is not going to shoot at people. Okay, so they certain units will be preset to do that in order to prevent them from blowing themselves up or blowing you up. The Stuka is one of them. Some mortars will come in with that. Now, if you click on that little box, it'll change to fire, return fire. It's two rifles shooting at each other. You see that?
Yeah.
So if it's fired upon, it'll fire back, and then lastly, you can change it to fire at will. So you typically want your mortars to be fire at will. Let's see what else. And then so you mostly for mortars, you just want them in a good position. You want them to have an ammo box, and you want to make sure they're at fire at will, and you want to make sure that enemies are within their cone. Because keep in mind, this thing does have this thing over here has a cone of fire, and if something's not in that cone of fire, it's not going to turn to shoot at it. It's going to stay in its cone of fire because it's been deployed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you always want to be putting mortars and bushes when you can as well?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much always. Here's something really saucy. So go ahead and call in a pack. Can you call in a pack 40?
Yeah.
Go ahead and call in a pack 40, and then you really don't have to move it anywhere. Just go ahead and right-click and deploy it anywhere. Doesn't matter. And once it's deployed, click on the gear, the use item button. I'll wait for you.
Yeah.
Because it's still on the move.
Fortify.
So click that, and then click on fortify.
Inject morphine. What the fuck?
That's an option for some things. No, use the fortify button. Click it. Watch what happens.
Yeah.
It now puts down sandbags and reinforces its position. So some things will have that. So, what else? I'm trying to think of anything else. Any other little thing that I can tell. So a lot of the times when you're playing the game, you'll want to not overcommit. So like, let's say that we're playing right now and the enemy is in a lull, okay? And we have like a certain number of tanks on the field. What you'll want to do is you'll want to not use the time. We're like, okay, well, we have time. It's like, let's call in like a KT. It's like, no, like, you don't want to do that. You want to have a measured response. Like typically what you'll want to do is you'll want to set up with cheap but effective units, like for the Pack 40, for example.
Yeah, to make the volatility, narrow the swing of where things can go. Safeguard
right, exactly.
the win. Yeah.
So you don't, because the thing is that you always want to have the advantage in positioning and in information. So like if you have a KT on the field and you it's a lull, right? Your opponent isn't really calling anything in at the moment, and then you call in a KT, your opponent now knows. It's like, okay, well, I was biding my time anyway. Well, my opponent just called in a KT. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to call in a big heavy vehicle or anything like that. I'm going to call in, like bazooka infantry, or I'm going to call in like artillery to deal with it. So you always want to be, reactionary as the Germans. As the Japanese, it's not the case, but as the Germans, you don't ever want to overcommit to a situation that you don't have to. So like right now in this lull, you would want to be calling in like, a couple panzerfaust infantry, a panzer grenadier squad, or not a panzer grenadier, like a panzer grenadier, panzerschreck infantry for some really good AT. You'll want to be calling in some additional Volksgrenadier squads. It's like you're not assaulting any positions or anything like that, so there's no need for heavier infantry than that. It's like it's a very calm, it's like a measured response right now. You don't need to overcommit when you don't need to. You don't want to. So that's kind of the point. Like, so like if we're playing against like say the Americans, then all of a sudden like a super Pershing rolls out. It's like we're gonna take a look at that and be like, I can call in a KT and try and slug it out with that, or I can call in like a Pack 43 and just smite it like the heathen it is, you know? And
Yep.
it's like, because it's rolling towards us, so you just call in a Pack 43, set it up, have it sit there, manually control, wait for the perfect shot, and then just blow it up in a single shot. And then your 900 point unit just took out a 2,800 point unit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So you always want to try and be reactive in that sense. You don't really want to try and be proactive, because your opponent will see it and know and respond in accordance. That goes for a lot of other factions, but very much so for the Germans, because everything you have is very expensive. You know, it doesn't matter what it is, you have the most expensive of everything. So
everything's designed to rely on good countering and good reactivity.
exactly. The
Yeah.
Germans are a very, very, very reactive faction. They're not an offensive faction. If we're playing the Japanese, everything I said is a lie. When you're playing as the Japanese, you don't have a break. You just go, 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 go. You flood the field, flood the field, flood the field. Keep hammering them. Keep going. Keep pushing that envelope. You want to just keep hitting them as much as you possibly can, and you want to be calling in as cheap and as effective a thing as you possibly can to deal with the situation. You don't want to let up, because if you let up and they start getting reinforced and get like if a Japanese player came across this hill, they would concede. Because there's nothing they can do. It's like you have MG gunners up here on the top, you have heavy tanks and everything. It's like if their opponent has been able to get to the point where they can reinforce a position like this, then they're done. You know, so they want to be just constantly holding. They constantly want to be pushing the field as much as they can. So that's a good example of that. Let's see, any other questions? Anything? I'm trying to think of anything else I can cover to try and give you. Does everything make sense? Like, does like kind of the mechanics of the game and everything make sense?
Yeah, this has helped a lot. I understand everything a lot more thoroughly now. Yeah.
Okay, I want to show you something real quick, because one thing that you'll want to learn to do is you'll want to learn how to effectively set up sandbags. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So do you remember how to set up sandbags? Do you know who you call in?
I remember doing it.
Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to try and remember it?
Volksgrenadiers?
Nope. It's under go on specialized soldiers, and it's the first two options: the Kar 98K riflemen and the G43 grenadiers. It's those two guys.
Wait, so Kar 98 riflemen in these other squads don't have that individual ability to do that, but these...
Nope.
But...
The individuals do.
Ah. And what happens if you combine these individuals into groups, so they end up...
They're good.
They have the ability still, it's just...
Yeah, because it's something in the inventory. So let's see all these guys here. I just formed them into one squad, and I'm just going to go ahead and I can right click on it, and then I can just set up a sandbag with them, just like this. So there you go. See, he's doing it. So one thing with sandbags, what I'm trying to show you here is that you want to stagger them, because you don't want it to be that one MG or one grenade or one explosive can kill everybody in the squad. You want to make it so that it's as difficult as possible in order for the enemy to deal with it. So see, like over here, I have them on either side of the sandbag, and then I have them set up on different sides of like a staggered sandbag. So like if a grenade lands like right here, that wasn't where I wanted to put that sandbag, but okay. Then the guys in the front might get hit by the explosion, but the guys behind won't. So staggered sandbags are the way to go. You don't want to just make a line. That's the big thing. If you make a line, then one grenade
from the side as well. Yeah.
If they get flanked, if there's a grenade, if there's an explosion, it's just going to get killed. And then a lot of the times, what you want to do is if you have at least two, which you should always try and do, you want to take your more expensive or more veteran guys and put them behind. So like, I give you an example. I'm putting my MP40 up front, and I'm putting my sniper behind. So my sniper and my G43 gunner is going to be in the back. I got my two G43 guys in the back, and I have Kar 98Ks in the front with an MP40. And so now what happens is that they are all going to make sure that like I have my more expensive and more veteran troops in the back and more protected. Another thing is that, so you know how you can individually select guys? If you group them, guys in a group will share inventory. So what happens is like here, I'll show you. So this guy right here that I'm controlling right now, I'm gonna go in his inventory, and he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna drop all his fucking he's gonna drop all his ammo on the ground. Okay, hold on. Let's drop his ammo. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a couple of times. That was a good explosion. What was that?
Bundle grenades, had to try it.
There you go. Very nice. Anyway, so I'm going to shoot all these bullets, and... Oh no! I'm out of ammo. See, he's got a little red symbol over his head. He's out of ammo. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and select this whole infantry squad, and now they all share ammo, and so he reloads. So you can do that. You can combine squads in order to share ammo and reinforce them in that way. If you really want to see something cool, I think I can do it real quick. I think this has some. Go up to... here, I'm going to give you the brim bar real quick. Go ahead and go up to the brim bar and investigate it, and pull out the TNT. There you go.
I'm stuck in the entrenching tool, hang on. Alright. So do you want me to do it?
No. Have an infantryman go up to it and pull the TNT out of it, is what I was saying. So have one of your guys go up and
examine.
Just pull the TNT. Yeah, go ahead and get the TNT out. No, you just put the guy out.
Hang on.
Go ahead and go. No, here, take the opportunity to get him off. Do you remember how I showed you? You select the vehicle, bottom right. You right click on one of their little the portraits. So there you go. Yep. So go ahead and.
Hang on. Fuck. Fuck. All right. I've got it. All right.
Okay. All right. Is he getting it?
And then.
No. You have to have. You can't do it manually. You have to have them auto do it. So select him and then click the eyeball or whatever key you have it set to, and then you should be able to run up to it and pull out the TNT from it. Go in its inventory.
Yeah, dynamite.
The dynamite. There you go.
Why is there dynamite in the broom bar?
What?
Why is there dynamite in it?
There's dynamite in pretty much every German vehicle. They use it to scuttle. It's
all right.
So I think every German vehicle. I don't know. Does the Stuka have it? Stuka Zufus? I don't know. But anyways, go ahead and give that a toss and see what happens. The TNT is really important for the Germans because you can use it as a last ditch AT method. So go throw it at your hero Yag Tiger and watch what happens.
All right. I like how your railgun flipped over on its side. Wow.
Yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsie.
Oh man, it's got a short lob on it. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's a big piece of thing. There you go. Run! Here it goes. Bam!
Fuck the
Blows
tracks.
the tracks up.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a very the TNT is super important against lesser vehicles that blow it the fuck up because it's TNT. But yeah, that's a good example of so again, that's just another little thing the Germans can do is they can just pull like here, go look at your Sturm Tiger. Your Sturm Tiger's got it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much every German tank I'm pretty sure has TNT in it because they scuttled them. So that's a nice little thing. A lot of the times, like you think your opponent thinks that the tank's out of action. You can have a crewman. Like here, you can have a crewman jump out of this vehicle and get the TNT out of it, and then throw it at something, and then get back in the vehicle. Or like, let's say that the Sturm Tiger was disabled and the crew bails out. Just have one of the guys run up and grab the TNT and go on a suicide run.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things. Like I said, there's a lot of little nuances to the faction. The big thing that you want to know, or just kind of keep in mind, is you want to keep using superior weaponry. The Germans obviously had, they have the STG-44. It's the first assault rifle in the world. Make good use of that. Make good use of the MG-42. You want to make good use of your G-43s. The works.
How do repair kits work? So you can do the same thing as you could with TNT. You just go and get the repair kit out.
No, here. Go ahead and here. Give me the broom bar back real quick. I have to look at the key for it real quick.
Yeah.
So here. Wait. What did you give me? Oh, give me the Sturm Tiger. Not the
Oh
broom
shit.
bar. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, so what you can do is shit. It doesn't have the option. Oh, I got it. I got it. Here it is. It's the wrench. So go ahead and click on this. Click on this down there. Okay. So select your Storm Tiger, and then in the bottom middle of the bottom right hand side, you see a little wrench. Okay. What is your key set to? If you hover over, it should tell you.
Shift R. Default.
Okay, so go ahead and hit Shift R and watch what happens. Guy bails out. Okay. Unfortunately, it's a tank commander. You typically don't want that, and he immediately begins to repair it. Now, an example would be like, let's say that my Brumbar over here is damaged. Okay. What I can do is I can run up with this infantry man that I have right here. This homie. I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna go ahead and examine it. I'm gonna grab one repair kit. Okay. Out of the thing, and then now I can go ahead and repair it if I need to. Alternatively, can I repair your vehicle? No, you're currently repairing it. Anyways, so now he's got a repair kit, and he can repair this vehicle for me. See how that works? So you can have anybody do it. So it did not have to be your tank commander. In fact, you actually have a second track that's disabled. Why don't you try and see if you can get this random grenadier right here, and see if he can run up and repair it. Select him, and see if you can repair it. Is he going and doing it?
Think so.
Let's find out.
Yeah, so we took the repair kit out, the last one, and he's doing the same thing.
So now you're repairing both tracks. There is no limit to the amount of repairs that can be done on a vehicle. I've had a Tiger that had like almost the entire thing. Like if you see the paper mache model, actually here, click. That's a good thing. Click on your Yag Tiger and look at the bottom left. You see the do you see your paper? Yeah, your treads are red, so you can see that your paper model. So I can tell you that. Oh, another thing. Okay, so it tells you do you see a percentage at the top left?
Crew efficiency.
That's your crew efficiency. Yep. So you are a 100%, I imagine, crew efficient unit.
103 for some reason. What the fuck?
Oh, okay. So it
what?
Couldn't tell you. So you're 103%, and it's probably because you've been in combat. Like they survived an explosion, so they counted as being. Anyways, so they're a little bit more veteran. So so they're currently 103% efficient, and then the more combat they see, the more veteran they become. It goes up, so that means that they have a 3% bonus to everything they do.
Yeah.
So the higher up that goes, the better. You know, you can get like you remember last night when we were playing and my Tiger was had 5 gold stars on it.
I remember it had a fuck ton of kills. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, it was a 250% effectiveness, which meant that it was reloading 150% more quickly. It was turning the gun 150% faster. It was aiming 150% faster, and it was 150% more accurate.
Yeah, that's immense.
So yeah, exactly. So all those things come into play when you're doing that. Oh, last thing. Okay, so I promised the last thing. So okay, go to your special unit. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, do you see how it says veteran? It says veteran Tiger, veteran Panther, and Tiger 2 Ace. Do you see those? So now, okay, those are not just that's not just saying that for the shits and giggles. It counts it as a different unit. Veteran units have increased range. So you remember how I was showing you how the Kar 98 had a 100 meter range and the Kar 98K with a sniper had a 150 meter range, etc., etc. So your Yag Tiger has a range. It has a range at which it can fire. Okay, a veteran unit will have a increased range compared to that. So I can actually give you a real example here real quick. Click on tank support. It's the third from the bottom. It should. Okay, right click on the one of your Tigers, one of the two. It does not matter which one. Okay, and it'll say range is 220 meters. Obviously that's ridiculous. You just add a 0 to every range in RobZ. It's because the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it has a 220 meter range. If you go to the veteran Tiger, the veteran Tiger will have a 275 or a 300 meter range instead. So it actually can just shoot further than the base versions. So it kind of gives you an idea on that front.
Yeah, ranges everything in tank battles, tank Joes.
Exactly. So okay, any other questions?
Nope. I now know everything about this game, and I can wreck everyone.
Absolutely, I can't wait. Fucking looking forward to it. One thing, oh jeez. So alright, I'm just gonna do. Promise my last thing. Promise. Whenever you call in a Panzerfaust infantry, one of the guys is a dickhead and comes in with a Walther because he just wants to flex on everybody. Obviously, this is not optimal. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go find somebody who's dead and pick up their gun, because you obviously don't want to have one of your very expensive Panzer Grenadiers running around with just a fucking pistol.
So that's just a weird
right now,
quirk that you've got to accommodate.
yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. Why the fuck aren't you moving, dickhead? Why aren't you moving? Oh, are you disabled? Did something happen? What the fuck? Move! Whatever.
There's a dead guy under this half track. I don't know why. Did he get crushed?
I think you ran him over.
Wow.
Well, no, couldn't tell you. Oh well. Anywho,
I'm definitely impressed by all the simulation, the detail they've gone to. I mean, you can just see it from how the railgun got stuck in the crater.
Yeah, engines have certain horsepowers and stuff like that. You can see how fast like the Puma is, and the Tigers really struggle to get around and shit like that. Here we go. This is super important. Click on your half track. This is what I was talking about last night. Click on your half track.
Yeah.
Okay, click on your half track and then click on the crosshair. It's the middle left. Attack options. Make sure you swap to full auto. Whenever you get an MG42, your MG42 is coming in burst. Make sure you swap to full auto. So.
Yeah.
So that way he will automatically shoot fully automatic bursts rather than fully automatic rather than burst. MG42s have the option to fire in either, so make sure that they don't fire in burst.
Would you ever want them to be firing in burst? I know historically you would, but in this game there's not overheating and barrel changes and all that.
Not really. Oh, there's overheating. Yeah, the MG42 has to change its barrel periodically.
All right.
But it comes with spares. So the big thing with the MG42 is that it has the highest fire rate in the game of any weapon. It's just so it's like you want to be using it. You know, it's like if you're having a shitload of fucking guys coming over a hill, you don't want to go like. You just want to fucking mow them down because they're going to be running into gunfire. Your Fallschirmjägers can use bursts because they can use it the most optimally. You know, I don't know. It's rare. That's my opinion. Almost always you just want to be mowing shit down and going through ammo, because I mean here, like, look at this thing. Go look at the inventory on it. It comes with like what, like 3,000 fucking rounds, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So it's like, you know, it's like it's just not gonna happen, you know? Your half track is gonna get knocked out before it becomes a problem. So same thing for infantry a lot of the time. Beautiful.
Have to do it.
Oh no, absolutely. It's a beautiful. What's it called? The screaming cow or something like that. I forgot what the old nickname for it was.
Yeah, I can't remember. Howling or something.
Oh yeah, the howling cow or something like that. Anywho, so that is the German Wehrmacht. The Wehrmacht are, obviously, as you can see, insanely robust. I didn't even cover tank destroyers. Do you want me to cover tank destroyers, or do you think you got it?
Yeah, well, what is there to them apart from their movement and their traversal and turret and all that? Is it?
It's a huge difference. I'll give you an example. Click on tank support. Look at the Panzer IV Ausf J. Okay. Your Panzer IV Ausf J is 500 points. Okay. There's 80 millimeters of front armor. It comes with a turret. It's got machine guns, etc., etc., etc. So you understand what this is, right? You understand what you're buying with this, right? So if you go down to tank destroyers, you can get a Jagdpanzer IV with the L48, which is a much more powerful gun than that, and it has greater armor. It's actually closer to 100 millimeters because of the sloping. So you're getting it. Basically, it's a trade-off. So the Panzer IV has a turret, and it's able to move and reposition and everything, but it's got a worse gun and it has worse armor, whereas the Jagdpanzer IV L48 is better armored from the front and has a better gun. So you will always, every time you look at one of these tank destroyers, the tank destroyers is less versatile than the tank, but it always has like, it's like, for the same cost, it's like more armor and a better gun, or like a much better gun, or something like that. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're getting, so it's like you have the choice between having the Panzer IV J, which comes with an MG42 up on top and two MG34s, one in the hull and one as a coaxial, and also having a turret, versus going down and getting the Panzer IV L48, which just has one hull-mounted MG42, so it's it's a little bit more vulnerable to infantry. So do you see what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
You have the difference between like a Panther, right? The Panther versus the Panther proper. The Panther has better armor and has a much bigger gun. But you don't have the upside of having the Panther's mobility and the Panther's turret. See what I mean? And the Panther costs, well, the Panther actually costs pretty close to it. The Panther costs a little bit more just because the Panther's so ridiculously good. Kind of a bad example, but you get what I'm saying. You know, or you have like the fucking Nashorn, which is in the Nashorn has the fucking Pack 43.
Yeah,
it's like
glass fucking cannon. That's the only one thing it can do is shoot things.
Exactly. It's 100%. It's got the fucking Tigers, the Tiger 2's gun on it, but it doesn't cost like 2,200 like the fucking Tiger 2 does. So, you know.
I don't know why they did that there. That was weird.
Oh, you probably have it. Did you have it in attack round?
Yeah, I think I did, and then it reloads the show again. Fucking hell.
It will continue whenever you give an attack round order. It will continuously fire where you told it to attack round. So that might be another thing that your mortars were doing. If you gave them an attack round order, they're just shooting in the same spot that you told them to shoot over and over again because you didn't give them a new order.
Oh, so that's like, what happened when a team killed two end corners infantry that were capturing a flag last night, I think.
Right. Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Makes sense then. So, but yeah, so you got to be careful about that, obviously. But yeah, so tank destroyers are something that the Germans have. The Germans and the Soviets, pretty much. The Americans, the Japanese, and the British really don't have very good tank destroyers. And a lot of the times their tank destroyers are just basically tanks, like the Wolverine, the Slugger, and the Jackson for the Americans. Those are just tanks. They just are open topped. So the thing is that a lot of the times with the Germans, it's like you can call in. Sure, you can call in your Panzer IV Alpha J, but like if your opponent is going to be rocking in with like a T-34-85, you have to be the one who gets the first shot. Whereas you can just spend that same amount of points on a Panzer IV L48 and get much better results. You know, you're almost guaranteed to win that fight regardless. You know, because you're almost guaranteed. Even if he gets that first shot off, it doesn't matter because your armor is more likely to take it. And even more so with the L70. This is the Panther's gun, by the way. This is the one you were talking about. The Panzer IV L70 is going to be taking that thing out. No problem, no questions asked. So, you know, that's kind of the thing. So like that's actually a really good example right there. Is like versus the Panther versus the Panzer IV L70. That's a better example. The Panther has 85 millimeters of front armor and has the L70, and it's 1,475 points versus the Panzer IV L70, which is an 80 millimeter front, same sloping, and has the same gun. And so you're paying 400 points less for it. So kind of gives you some perspective on that front. I guess the Panther. So yeah, the Panther would be more comparable to the Tiger.
Do people ever use static tripod MG42s or MG34s?
Yeah, kinda. Sometimes, not really. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. So the MG42 Lafette is 180 points. Go up to transport and procurement and take a look at the Schwimmwagen. It's got an MG42 on it. And it can move.
Yep.
You can also get a fucking half track for 150 points. Truth told, I really don't understand the point of it because it's totally useless. It's so expensive, and then on top of all of that, I mean, just look at specialized soldiers. You can just call in. You can call in a fucking Fallschirmjäger FG42 team for 70 points, or fuck, never mind. Just call in a Fallschirmjäger MG42 team for 113 points. Now that is a scary call in. That is a nasty call in. 113 points, you get two guys with an MG42. They are going to rip and tear. They're not going to give any fucks. A lot of the times, though, I'll just typically call in a Fallschirmjäger with an FG42 team. Those assholes will just fuck up anything. It also really helps in that you get 3 of them if you take a look-see. So rather than just getting the 2 that you usually get, you get 3 guys. Oh, did you get 3 guys too? Oh, never mind. I'm a liar. But yeah, I typically just call in this. I really don't ever see. It's like I'm never like, man, the FG-42 in a Fallschirmjäger's hand just isn't enough. And I never have that moment. It is always well and truly more than enough. So Fallschirmjägers are kind of your end-all be-all. Pretty much nothing is going to top a Fallschirmjäger. Panzergrenadiers are pretty damn close. But yeah, Fallschirmjägers are just kind of like on a whole other world. They're so well equipped and so well trained. They're just deadly beyond all compare.
The FG-42, how many rounds do they come in with? Isn't that really light compared to an MG-42?
It is. It shoots. It's got a 20-round magazine, but it shoots a bigger bullet. And then they come in with a lot of them.
Right.
So, and on top of that is that you have to keep in mind that it's lighter. So, like this guy, like watching when I start having him run. I mean, he's gonna run the whole map with this gun. He can just keep going and going and going. Look, he's still going. He's going and going and going and going. You know, you can't do that with an MG-42. So, like, and again, he's still going. I'm gonna run all the way to your fucking Puma at this rate. Well, I just turned around. So weight is a big contributing factor, and something that you want to keep in mind. Oh, he also comes with sandbags. Nice. Sorry, I'll keep running. So weight is a big contributing factor and something that you want to keep in mind whenever you're calling in something. It's like, so like here, try running with your MG-42. Just go ahead and see how far you get, because I'm still running, by the way. You can still see my guys still running.
Yeah, the blue stamina bar is draining. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see how quickly it is. So it's like, it depends. I mean, the MG-42 is undoubtedly the superior weapon. I'm not gonna argue that. The MG-42 is the superior. Yeah, you only made it half the distance that I did. The MG-40 is obviously superior. But the thing is that it's only superior in certain circumstances. So if you're using Fallschirmjägers in an assault, like this guy would be doing, then you would not want the MG-42 because there's a delay between the MG-42 setting up and firing. You can't immediately fire with it, whereas you can immediately fire with the FG-42. So that's another little tiny thing to keep in mind. What else?
How do Kar 98s do at range?
Amazing.
Yeah.
They're extremely accurate. The Karna, if I'm a Soviet player, I'll drop a Mosin for a Kar 90K. If I'm a Japanese player, I'll drop an Arisak for literally anything. And Arisak is a piece of garbage. It's an absolute piece of fucking garbage. It's terrible. The only ones I really don't drop for, like the Americans have the M1 Garand, which is, it's really good. The Americans are really, really, really good to start playing with because all of their weapons are semi-automatic or fully automatic. So you call them in, and then you have really good, reliable fire rates coming from everybody. Whereas with the Germans, you have to be a little bit more careful because you want to have your guys in a superior position in order to make use of the Kar 98K's accurate fire. You know what I mean? So they're a lot more of a careful faction because, like, the Americans can just run in with Tommy guns blazing and going crazy. The Germans can't do that unless you call in like a Sturm squad, which is incredibly expensive compared to like a fucking U.S. rifle section. I'll give you an example. So the Volksgrenadier squad is 118 points, right? So this is 118 points. You get 8 guys, and in that 8 guys, you only have 2 SMGs and 1 LMG, right? Okay. The American rifle section is 100 points. You get 12 guys. Every single one of them has a semi-auto, and 5 of them have SMGs. So it's like, if you were just gonna literally run at each other in a field, who's gonna win that fight? It's typically going to be the American player, because the American player is going to be able to have all of their guys put out a consistent amount of fire, whereas your guys are going to, the majority of your guys are going to be firing in bolt action. So, yeah, so that's something to keep in mind with the Americans, and also keep in mind the Americans have the BAR. The BAR is only a 20-round magazine, but it fires a very, very big bullet. So it is going to do a lot of damage, and the Americans typically will try and flood the field with BARs because, goddamn, if that's not a good, it's not a good strategy. Yeah, so BARs are something to keep in mind. MG34s are something you really just kind of want to avoid. They're just not as good. Period.
I've noticed this MG42 guy has a barrel case. So what happens if I drop that? Does that mean his rate of fire goes way down?
No, it's just because like I said, it's just like reloading. Your barrel will wear out eventually, and then he'll replace it.
And if he doesn't have the barrel case for whatever weird reason, then
what will happen is the gun will literally explode in his hands. Like you'll see, it'll be a little animation. Like he won't take any damage. He won't take any damage from it. His gun will just explode, and then he'll stand there with no gun. So
how long will that take? I want to see it.
I don't know. You have to go through about 4,000 rounds.
Oh, right, so it's not really a... Are you sure it's actually 4,000 rounds?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Alright,
it's a historical number. So, I don't know. We could be here for another, like, 10 minutes.
Alright, never mind then.
It's like I said, it's like... That's what I'm saying is, like... Yeah, that can happen, and yeah, the MG34 is not going to have that happen, but it's like, is that really going to be a problem for you?
It's 2 kilograms for this thing, and the fucking MG42 is 11 kilograms. You can just drop the barrel case on every MG42, then.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Just drop it, and then not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So, the only reason that I might say to keep it is if there's, if you have, it's called weapon failure, so like, I don't know if you noticed this when we were playing yesterday and the guys were playing in the desert. Whenever they were prone, they would have a weapon jam. Did you ever see that happen?
Jamming the gun?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
you can have a jam, a hang fire, or a weapon malfunction. If it's a weapon malfunction with an MG42, if they don't have a barrel, then the weapon will no longer work. So the MG42 is unique in that if it's a weapon malfunction, they don't have the extra barrel, then it'll be kaput. It's a balancing feature because the MG42 is the best gun in the game.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, so also veterancy, so like Fallschirmjägers will clear a hang fire or a jam nearly instantly, whereas Volkssturm, you'll die of old age before they get a piece of sand out of their gun. You know? That was another thing, like Arisakas, like the Japanese guns, jam infinitely, all the time, constantly. Arisakas, if you don't ever want your guys with Arisakas to go prone because they'll jam and they'll break. Japanese guns in general will jam all the time because they're pieces of shit. You know, the PPSH will jam. The Mosin doesn't really jam. I've never seen a Mosin really jam. I think they have if you play in a desert map with a Mosin, they're prone, then yeah. Because like that's another thing. So see this guy right here, with his MG42. See how he's not on the ground. If I shoot with him, you know, I'm not gonna have any trouble. But like as soon as I do, hold on, he's gonna reload. As soon as he lays down, okay. Well now I'm laying down. I have a higher and I'm gonna move with it. I have a higher chance of jamming with it now. So. Of course, I don't know if that's going to happen because I'm a fucking Fallschirmjäger, and I'm literally God, but God, I love this gun so much. So, I don't know. It's something to keep in mind. My point being is it's something to keep in mind. You know what I mean? So if you play on a map that's a desert map or something like that, then you'll want to keep it in your mind at all times. So, okay, all right. I think that's it. I think that's all the basic stuff. You know, you'll wanna you got your covered ammo boxes. Like your Pack 40 is gonna want an ammo box, a heavy ammo box. You know, because it's gonna be running out of ammo. You can hit the I button and see. Oh, do you have your mini map up?
Yeah.
Hit M.
Yeah.
You can hit M, and then did you know you can resize it and you can also move it?
How?
I'm gonna find out because I can't remember controls. Control M. So if you hit Control M, you can change the size of it to be any size you want, and then you can also change your transparency. You can also change tracers, compass icons, And then there's way to show hit point, squads, compass, tracers, management. Here it is. So you can move the map after you can place it where you want to. I have mine on my top left, but you can change yours anywhere you want. So something there, and also you can just turn it off. Hit the M key. I don't know if you remapped it, but for me, the M key will turn the map on and off.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm trying to look at a situation and then my map is too big or it's in the way, I can just hit M, just turn it off, not have to worry about it. So another thing.
Can you issue movement orders using the map?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Nope. Yeah, because it takes you to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay. And then, middle mouse button will change your field of view. Did you know that?
What do you mean?
Hit and hold the middle mouse button and look around.
Yeah, pan the camera around.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, of course.
So like, something that you're gonna have to really get good at is like going third person with like infantry. So like this guy, because like your camera will lock. So like I'm basically over this guy's shoulder, basically for all intents and purposes.
You have to set the camera in advance and then go into the third person.
Yeah, you really can't do it. So something with tanks, some tanks. So control your Puma, because I'll show you an example. Control your Puma. Okay. So you can go through like when you can go third person with your Puma, but there's something else you can do. So go ahead and while you're controlling the Puma, look over here at this building. So see how you can manually control it even when you're not looking at it. This is something that you'll have to learn to do, and it's just going to take practice, is that you can be manually controlling it and line up a shot while you're looking directly at something to have perfect accuracy. So like hit the roof on, oh sorry, I missed. Hit the roof on the front portion of that house. Like you can basically look at it like point blank. Rather than looking over, rather than being third person on your Puma. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I can just zoom all the way over to it, and then use the third person mode, and then if he actually
Hang on. I think your DLC is fucking with you. Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. And go ahead and look at the screen and then give me the Puma real quick. I want to see something.
Alright, just a second.
Here. Okay, so can you see on the stream?
Yep.
Okay, so watch. So I've got it selected. I'm gonna look over here and hit E. See? So I don't have to actually I don't have to like I don't have to sit with it like this from this angle. I don't have to line up a shot like this. I can go straight to the target and fire at it from here. But you can see that there's something in the way.
Yeah, I was doing all this. It was working for me.
Boom.
I just missed it because it had the hill. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that that you understood what I was saying and I was explaining it in an appropriate way.
Cool.
So, okay. Yeah, so that's something that you can learn and pick up on the way, so you can just have a perfect shot on something that you're doing. You don't have to do it in third person. Third person's only just really good if you're trying to, oh, that's why, it's because its engine's off. I forgot about that. Just little things, like I said, that's just a little thing that you can pick up and learn and get better with. Aiming for weak points on vehicles, learning where the weak points on a vehicle are is very important. So like, knowing to shoot at like the MG port on the YAG Tiger, stuff like that. Aiming for viewports, like you see the big old viewport on the Sturm Tiger, it's got a huge fucking viewport, easy to hit. So stuff like that. American tanks, same thing. Soviet tanks, you'll want to learn. The Brits really are pretty lightly armored, so the Brits and the Japanese, not really too much to.
So if I brought the Puma over and fired at that viewport, What would happen?
You penetrate it probably.
Yeah.
Unless you missed, go ahead and give it a shot. I can't imagine anything else would happen.
And what's the spread like on the Puma at the moment? If I'm just pixel perfect, aiming right on it, and the shot's set up perfectly, and then they fire right at that pixel, will there be spread that means they can miss?
I don't believe so. No.
No.
I mean, German guns in general are very accurate. I don't think that you're really going to have an issue. So, well, watch it. I'm ready for you to prove me a liar, though, because
I'll try it.
you know. Yeah, of course. So, double right click with it, because I think it's just going at cruise speed. It should be going at flank speed. If you double right click, it'll go full speed, as far as I'm aware.
Isn't that full
not.
speed?
No, the Puma can fucking fly. The Puma can really go. There, yeah, it's picking up speed now. Puma can go like 80 kilometers an hour, even in this game. You know, it's like you can get stuff like I'll call in a let me call in a Kuba wagon. I'll show you just how quick the Kuba wagon can go.
Alright, I'm gonna try that shot on it.
Go ahead, yeah, go for it, baby. See, dude, I keep spawning in this fucking crater, and all my vehicles get stuck. Oh, we shoot the broom bar.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, come on.
A shot and it fucking... Do you see the decal on it from the shot?
Yeah, you just barely missed the viewport. Holy shit, look at that.
That's weird. What the fuck?
Up to the right.
Yeah. Alright, right on it. Exactly on the middle of the viewport. Like, right in the fucking middle again.
Let's go. Come on. Yep, you got it. Penetration. You knocked out the main gun and you killed a crew member.
That's cool.
There you go. So yeah, see, and if you look at the vehicle, you actually don't see any decals on it or anything like that. So yeah, you knocked out the main gun, killed the crew member, but that was it. I think the main gun ate it. So
and if I just keep putting rounds through that viewport, will it eventually blow up?
Yeah, go ahead and give it another shot. Missed. It was down to the left.
What the fuck? There is spread.
You're at a fair distance in terms of the game's mechanics. Again, just to the left, just to the left. You can actually see it's right below the gun. It's just below the gun there. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna offset to the right a bit then.
Ooh, just look at that! Look at that! You can actually see the decal right above the viewport.
Yeah. That's funny.
Try APCR. Yeah, that was way off. Down the left. Try APCR. You have different ammo types. So you could try APCR or like heat, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I think you hit the mantlet on that one.
How does it simulate deflections? Like if I was to just aim right at the corner with an extremely glancing shot, does the projectile actually fly off, or is it just like is it simulated just with the sound effects that you hear? You know the.
No, yeah. If you've been watching, because it's angled backwards, the shell's been flying straight into the air. Yeah, just aim at the side. Watch. Ooh.
What the fuck?
You just nailed the viewport again.
What?
You nailed that viewport. Fuck. Holy shit. You killed the other crew member and you knocked out the tank. So, good job. You got it that time. I saw that. That sailed straight in.
I'm gonna zoom out and see if I can spot the shell.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, you just penetrated it again, unfortunately. So. Now that you. What the fuck? Where were you aiming there?
Just try to glance off the right side.
Another penetration.
Yeah, that's the AP high explosive anti-tank. There's only two types of shell here, and they're both. Oh wait. APCR and high explosive.
Oh, okay, you went through all of your armor-piercing high explosive already, so yeah, because it only comes with a certain number of rounds. So you're shooting very, very, very dangerous rounds right now. The APCR will go straight through it, absolutely. So try shooting at the Storm Tiger. So here, I'm turning the engine on.
Yeah.
Here, I'll turn a little bit so you can see if glance here. Go ahead and try glancing it now.
Alright, hang on. So right off the right side at the top.
Go for it, baby. Let's see.
How come he died there?
Because you glanced. You killed him with the glance. If fucking the shrapnel bounced off and killed his ass.
Alright, lean a bit more into the shot so I can get an even more... Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
No, that one shattered. What are you shooting? That was a high explosive anti-tank?
That's just high explosive. I've got both types still.
Yeah, you're not... You gotta get regular rounds back. Try APCR. APCR will actually bounce, whereas that one will just shatter on the hull.
And yeah, you can see it going into the dirt behind.
Yeah. Yep, right there. Did you see that? You want to know something really fucking sick? Is that if you bounce like that and there was a vehicle back there that you could penetrate, you could then penetrate it off of that bounce.
We can do that. We can just bounce shots. How many... Could you bounce it off one tank and then bounce off another one and then knock out a third? That'd be funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
My record is I had a
record.
Tiger tank. My record was I had a Tiger tank kill 3 Shermans with 1 round. The first round punched clean through the side of the tank, knocked it out by destroying the engine. The round continued on, and then went through the second tank, and it did some sort of fatal damage to it, and then it hit the 3rd Sherman in the front, penetrated the front, and blew up the 3rd Sherman. The 3rd Sherman explosion, it cooked off, and then it detonated the 2nd Sherman that was right next to it.
That's funny.
So, yeah. So it was a triple kill on that one. Well, I mean, you saw last night when we were playing, my Tiger got a double kill on the Soviet tanks. Remember that? So every shell, every bullet is like, here, I'll show you. Like right now, I'm going to control this guy. Like all those bullets that are hitting the ground, like those aren't hit scan. That's like each one of those is rendered. If you look at the map, look at the map. Okay. Now watch what happens when I do this. Do you see those yellow lines on the map?
Yep.
Those are all rendered things that are happening right now. Like each one of those things, and each one of those can, like, here, I'll shoot your Puma, and it'll glance off.
Oh see, man, yeah, I see it.
See that? So like all of that is happening right now. Ding, 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 and one of those ricochets can go ahead and hit somebody else and kill them.
Across the map.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, here's my Fallschirmjäger. Do you see all the rounds bouncing off there? Do you see that? So like on the map. Like, it's another thing. So it's like, that's what I'm saying, is it's like it's impossible to like explain all these things to you. It's like we've been going for almost 100 minutes, you know.
Yeah,
like
pure mechanics.
2 hours.
It's a
just mechanics.
simulator.
Yep. So it's like I'm just trying to give you the skinny. So it's like, any other questions? So what do you think of it?
It just comes down to the players that you play with and the kinds of things that you do together. Otherwise, it seems like a really deep simulator that's limitless. How long have you played this for?
Oh, very long time. Very, very long time. So you can do, like, playing against players, playing against the AI, you know, it's like the AI can really put up a fucking good fight, as you saw, and players are really interesting because you never know what to expect. So, because it's like, I don't know, so it's like, it's got something for everything. So it's like you can do like just endless amount of things. The AI will never put up the same fight twice. You know, you can just go fucking ham with friends like we were doing last night at Stalingrad, you know, or you can go like really sweaty 1v1 PvP, you know. It's like, I don't know, it's like anything you can imagine you can do. There used to be a lot of scenarios, but since the game got abandoned, RobZ will he pretty frequently updates it, and as a result of that, each time he updates the mod, it breaks every scenario, so scenario stopped, which is really sad because I would have loved to have you seen it during its golden days in the scenarios. There used to be a scenario where you would play as the SAS, and you would spawn. You could only ever spawn in one guy at a time, and it would be like a guy with like a pistol or an SMG or a spy who would be unarmed, and you had to infiltrate a city and complete objectives in the city. It's pretty neat. So, all kinds of little things. Unfortunately, I don't know if those days are going to come back until RobZ can kind of get the stability back. But until then, we can just enjoy it for what it is, and it's a fucking great multiplayer game. So we'll have to play without Percy for some head-to-heads because he does not. One of the really cool things that I think you would really like is Doctrines mode. So remember how I kept telling you like don't pick Doctrines, otherwise you'll crash the game. Doctrines is where you'll pick a facet of an army. So like if you're playing the Germans, and you could pick elite infantry, and then like you have to play with a bunch of people. I'll say that. And then like someone will pick infantry, and someone will pick fortifications, and someone picks heavy tanks. And what it is that'll happen is you will only have access to heavy or elite infantry, and that's it. Nothing else. You'll have absolutely nothing else available to you. But the upside to that is that it's like, whereas like in the base game right now, Fallschirmjägers are like 350, 400 points, you know? It's like for you, Fallschirmjägers might be like 200 points, and they have a lower cooldown. And so it's like what it is that you end up having to work with your team, where it's like one guy's his whole job is like holding the field with like cheap infantry, and then like you have to very specifically use your infantry for key pushes.
Yeah, division of labor.
Yeah, division of labor, and it's so Doctrines is really cool. It's only PvP. It's a really fun map, you know. It's really neat. There's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do. That's in combat. So combat doesn't have to only be played with Doctrine mode, but with Doctrine mode, it kind of accentuates it. But the game type is called combat, and what it is like, see how this is right now? You have to control these points, you know, on the field, and it counts up. Combat is not that. Combat is where every time you kill a unit, you get points equal to that unit's cost. So it is extremely tense, because it's like, yeah, sure, you can call in that tiger, but if your opponent manages to get a lucky shot on that tiger, they get 1,500 points, you know? So, and it's like, it becomes a really big game of cat and mouse. It's really neat. It's very very, very tense. So there's all kinds of different game modes, all kinds of different things that you can do.